Welcome back to Weather Weekly News. This week we got 3 Devblogs for 1.79. Hit that subscribe button, let's get into this. The first one is the F4U7 Corsair. This is a French modification of the American AU1 Corsair and armed with French rockets and many other deadly things. The most interesting of which is at one point for a test they armed it with SS-11 anti-tank guided missiles. Unfortunately the test proved to be unsuccessful and it never saw combat, which isn't too surprising. This is the final modification of the F4U and it saw service up to 1979 in El Salvador. The question that this Devblogs brings to my mind is, when is America gonna get a attacker Corsair or the AU1? It seems the pattern of things is France will get a US plane, I guess in this sense the attacker Corsair, although the F4U7 is a French modification. And then about a patch later, the US finally gets their own version of their own plane. I love Corsairs, I think they look really cool, so I wouldn't be against the US getting an unnecessary amount of them. The next devblog was about the T-64BV, which, while pleasant, did not surprise me at all, as this was leaked when the T-64B was announced, and at first guys denied it, which was comedic. The BV modification is going to be a modification, an add-on, adding explosive reactive armor to the tank, which apparently has about 800 millimeters of protection against heat and HE. This made quite a few people annoyed at the fact that this is, unlike the M60 Rise or the French tank, a modification of an existing tank, not a new tank. But I think these people need to do a bit more research, as the AMX-30B2 Bruce, or whatever it's pronounced, is more than just the addition of explosive reactive armor. It has a whole new engine and I think some other minor modifications. The AMX-60 Rise, while it is primarily just the addition of explosive reactor armor, although there was minor changes that wouldn't reflect in gameplay. It also gained APFSDS and thus an increased battle rating. In terms of the T-64BV, it's possible it might get a BR increase, but besides the addition of explosive reactive armor, just about nothing changed for it. I think there was also some minor improvements that would not affect gameplay, like with the Rise. Another thing to keep in mind though, if you don't know, in top tier gameplay, the most used ammo is APFSDS, which explosive reactive armor does not affect. It only affects heat and HE, and also can be shot off with machine guns. And people claiming Russian bias for this, I have 2 things to tell you. First off, having this be a separate vehicle opposed to a modification would actually be a benefit to the Russian teams, as they would have then 3 T-64s to take out to top tier battles, whereas most nations only have 2 tanks to take to top tier battles. Also note that the explosive reactive armor does not cover up the T-64B's weak spot, the driver hatch. Although, on the other hand, BV are the initials of Gaijin's lead game designer,
Булаников Вячеслав.
I think this is 100% confirmation that not only is Russian bias a thing, but that T-64VB will be 100% unstoppable. The final devblog is something I am very much excited for, the P40F. It's another variant of the P40, but this one has a license-built Merlin engine. It makes the P40F less capable at higher altitudes. Also, the fuselage is a tiny bit longer, but the armament is the same as the E. Pretty sure this is going to be in a folder with the P40E. Personally, I'm hoping for a multitude more of P40s. Hopefully every single one. I really like these planes, if you don't know. In the preview video of the P40F, behind the butt rock that they usually throw on these videos, you could hear that the 50 caliber sounds is much different to the one in game. This basically confirms that we're going to get an audio overhaul for aircraft guns. Along with the P40F, they say that the P40E is also going to get a redesigned model. They did not say if they're going to do any work on the P40C, as apparently it has the wrong cockpit. In unofficial news, there was 2 unofficial patch notes that came out. The first one contained a Royal Engineers decal, a minor change to tank assault, and on the dev server, Italian and Japanese ship trees were added. Not that there were new ships added, but they are now classified into a tree, which is heavily hinting towards naval closed beta being really soon. hopefully next patch. Although note, Gaijin has stated previously that the release of Naval Forces is not tied to regular patch updates. The other unofficial patch notes was on May 16th. This one had added 2 new decals, one for the 11th Army Cavalry Regiment and one for the 4th Platoon B Company 3-7 Company, both for the US. There was also, oddly enough, files for airplanes missing. The MB-152C1, which is a French plane that accidentally got featured on the patch overview when the French planes got released. The F-84G France, the MB-151C1, the Lancaster MR-7 France, and the SBD-5 France. While it's understandable to get rid of the French copy and paste planes, why the MB-152 and 151? I don't know. Although it doesn't really affect us because none of these planes were ever implemented. These were just random files floating around in the game files. On the matter of ships, a few new ships were added. Of these were the USS
Tucumcari,
Fairmile B motor launch boat, Type 24 torpedo boat, Freccia-class destroyer, and Turbine-class destroyer. Besides the few new ones, the ships were put into trees and ranks. It seems that small PT boats are first rank, slightly bigger ones are rank 2, rank 3 is destroyers, and rank 3 is light cruisers. That's just about all this news this week. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you did not like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. I make these news videos every Sunday. I make random videos throughout the week, so if you want to see any of that, hit that bell icon. You should be notified anytime I upload anything. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.